It's time now for the Art Connection of East Texas. The Art Connection of East Texas is sponsored by Valorosa Designs and Galleries. They're located in Tyler's Bergfeld Center.
Just in case you haven't heard, I'm here to spread the word.
Now, let's welcome...
Good morning. This is Nita Fran Ward and Cindy Trimble. Hi, Cindy.
Good morning, Nita. Thank you for having us. So good to be here.
Yes, and our guest this morning is Doug Carter. We welcome you.
Glad to be
very
here.
well-known artist in the East Texas Tyler area. And we want to talk this morning to Doug about his art and all the things that he does in the art world. And he also is the past president of PORL, which is the Palette of Roses Art League of Tyler. We'll go into that after we do some other things this morning. Cindy, how are you?
I am wonderful. How
We've
about
had a
you?
great week, haven't we?
You know, it's been full of surprises and fun people like Doug appearing into our
I
lives.
know.
That's what's great.
Yeah, he's going to tell us when we get back to the interviewing him. He's going to talk about how he heard about us when he heard us on the radio and how he ended up walking into the gallery, and Cindy and I just happened to be there. So we had a great visit with him, and he instantly became our next interviewee.
Right in perfect timing.
And Cindy and I want to share with you this morning some of our thoughts about establishing with our community why we are doing this. And one of the things I want you to know is why we chose the theme song, and it's Ain't Gonna Settle for Anything Less.
Always
Nothing
striving.
but the best.
Striving for the best always.
Striving for the best. And that's what, and some of the goals that we, and that's by Erin Kinsey.
She's going to be here April
Yes,
2nd interviewing with us.
Yes, she will.
She's
She'll
in-
be here April 2nd to interview and singing April 7th. And Cindy will talk about that.
Well, she's in London right now there.
Yes,
so
she is.
stay tuned.
Blowing up Facebook. Amy Fish has been blowing up Facebook with
Oh.
all of that's going on with them.
It's an amazing time.
Great
Can't wait to hear all about it in
photos.
person.
Yes. One of the main things that we established this show for was to give a voice to the artists of East Texas, because everyone has a story. And artists have a journey of their own of how they started and where they are at the present moment. So that's what part of this show is about. And we want to discuss all forms of art in a way that informs yet is interesting, because art relates to everyday life. If you look around you, every sign, every poster, every piece of furniture, every pair of sunglasses is designed by someone who is an artist in
That's
their
right.
own way. Everything we touch.
Mhm.
Not to say our beautiful world God made. The
greatest beauty of
supreme,
all.
the supreme artist.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
It's inspired
And
us
we
all.
want to bring attention to all the artists of East Texas. And, you know, many times artists have a struggle of how to market their work. It's one thing to be in a studio or in your home creating this, but artists think, now, you know, I want someone to see my work. I want someone to appreciate my work. I want to be validated for my work. And that's one of our goals. We have established the ACET Network, which is for artists to join and become a part, and we hope to just spread this out through Facebook, social media, website, and everything, so that this will continue, and the members who join that will be chosen as Artist of the Month, or they will be chosen to come on the radio and talk about their art. And we're going to really focus on our membership as being a resource for us, for artists to interview.
Well, I thought it was pretty amazing. Just we got our Facebook page up this week, and just the immediate response in the community on social media. And big thanks to John David Media for helping us put together that so beautifully and quickly too.
Yes,
Thank you, John.
and you did that. You did a lot of work on it, Cindy, and thank you, because once we decided that you were going to do that, within hours, she had it up and going, and I've been getting hits, and I'm not a big Facebook person at my age. It's very, very new to me.
Learning to ride the waves.
I'm trying. The other thing we wanted to do was promote the Bergfield Center, and we chose the Bergfield Center to move the art gallery there. I looked all over Tyler. I spent 2 years doing this because I knew that it was something I was going to do. And we chose Bergfield Center for the gallery, for Valorosa Designs and Gallery, because I'm very much a proponent to promote entrepreneurship, small businesses, individually owned businesses, because we are the fabric of retail. We really are. It's there are so many of us out there that are just trying to pay our bills and have a wonderful space for people to come into. And my favorite thing about having a gallery is talking to artists and watching people's faces as they look at the art on the walls.
Well, and I think, too, the Berkfield Center ties again into that history, the art and the history of Tyler, the historical building that it is.
Yes.
Being the second oldest shopping center in the state of Texas.
Absolutely.
So it's wonderful being there.
And I was when Doug was talking to us about the Palette of Roses Art League and how long it has been.
Right, we're 64th year
Yes.
coming up this year, and it's
And
just a
and-
jewel of East Texas for
Yes.
sure.
And Burkeville is just right in there because they were established in 1949. So we're talking about two things that have grown together in Tyler. Very established organization, very established retail center. And we love our space. I really invite people, whether you are big art aficionado or not, please come by and see it. We have a beautiful space, and we want you to enjoy the art because we have some tremendous art on our walls.
And some wonderful retailers in the entire experience of shopping
Yes,
there at
we
Berkfield.
do. Yes, we do. I want to thank also Berkfield Insurance Agency. Brad at Berkfield Insurance was very gracious to be one of our sponsors, and we also want to thank Gold Leaf Gallery for being one of our sponsors because the show is going to be dependent on sponsorship, and we want to continue that. Cindy, we want to also put a bright light on the quality of the local art in East Texas and encourage people to consider buying art for their homes, their businesses, from the local artists, so that, there's that thing, if you spend $7 or you spend $1, it goes around the community 7 times. Think about that. If you spend $1 in your community and it travels through your community 7 times, if you go spend it in Dallas, we get nothing from it. East Texas does not. No sales tax. Sales tax fixes our streets. People need to think about that, how they spend their money, and not bleed their money out into other areas. We need to support our own East Texas area. And it's wonderful just to have a piece of art in your life. How wonderful it is to live with a piece of art and know that you have purchased it from someone that lives in your community. You want to add anything to that, Cindy? I see your face lighting up.
There's such a growing trend of, supporting the local business, the local communities, and, keeping it home, versus anywhere else. And it does. And not just having that piece of art in your story, it's that the inspiration that comes from the artisan and the story, and it inspires you every day.
That is very, very true. Each week, what we're going to also do is talk about 2 community events. We're going to do 2 community service announcements because we feel very much that we are going to promote the art in that manner too. Kim Cobb and I, Kim is my business partner at Valorosa Designs and Gallery, and I'll say good morning, Kim. We went over to the Chihuly exit the other afternoon, and I cannot tell people how beautiful it is. There's no way you can tell someone how beautiful that work is and the talent that man has. So I encourage you to go over. Number one, you're supporting the museum there on the TJC campus, and also just the inspiration that you will get from being in that space. And the people there at the museum have done a tremendous job exhibiting it, the lighting on the glass, and I really encourage people to see it.
Well, and the collection is all of the collectors throughout Texas that have displayed these pieces,
Yes,
which is
yes,
phenomenal.
It is, and that piece that looks like a piece of coral out of the sea, it's probably 5 feet tall. It is enormous. It's just amazing that someone can accomplish that with a piece of glass that's mouth blown beautifully. Also, there's a really tremendous event going on at the East Texas Symphony this week. It's Thursday night, the 19th at 7:30 at UT Tyler Cowan Center. And it is Richard Lee, the music director and conductor, is going to be there. His sister, Elisa Lee, will be playing the violin.
Ooh, how lovely.
And Efren Sane will be on the trombone. And there will be a special appearance by the UT Tyler Wind Ensemble. So we encourage people to attend that, try to get out there and support your community in all of our cultural events. It is sponsored in part by UT Tyler. The number you can call to get tickets is 903-566-7424. 566-7424. Tickets start at $10.
You know, my little niece is playing the violin. She plays the violin and the clarinet, so that'll be inspiring for her.
And talking about nieces, my great niece was just hired by the East Texas Museum of Art, the Tyler Museum of Art there at TJC campus, full time. She has been an
Congratulations.
internship there for several months, and so now they have hired her full time.
Sounds like she's a valued asset as well.
Yes, a valued asset, art asset. Yes, she is. So I think we need to just move right on. And Doug, we're going to introduce you, and then we'll be taking a break in a few minutes. But I want to introduce you. And you were the past 5 years. You've been the past president.
That's right.
Of
That's
the
correct.
Palette of Roses.
Mm-hmm. It's been quite an honor, and it's
I'm
been
sure. And you have a lot of membership, don't you?
Yes, we're between 50 and 60 members right now, and growing every year. And it is just a pleasure working with these ladies and men that are so talented in the East Texas area. And it keeps growing and keeps. It's just a good,
Yes,
a good
yes.
group of people.
I know.
Really group of people.
I was very inspired on your Facebook page, looking at all the art shows and the ribbons and how you all interconnect, and you post all your pictures, and there's such
right.
a variety of artisans within the league.
Right. Well, you mentioned earlier how it's hard to, we're creative by nature, but we're not necessarily marketers by nature. But, so we do have, get our art out there on Facebook and different mediums like that. But this is actually a good blessing for us to be able to talk about the local artists and the different leagues. And you mentioned about events. If you're out and about this weekend, the Mineola League of the Arts is having their show. It was yesterday and today. So if you're in the Mineola area, it's on 200 West Blair Street in Mineola, Texas. And that's also a guild league. And it's open to the public, and it's a free admission, so that's a avenue you can go out. And there's other things that go on constantly in the area, so we'll keep you apprised of those events as well.
Please do that, and know, Doug, that anytime you have an event that you're aware of that maybe Cindy and I have not thought about talking about, or that we have missed that information, please do send that to us, because we would like to tell people about it.
Just post it on the Facebook page,
Hey.
ACET Art
Yes.
Connection East Texas.
That's right.
I finally found what's been on my mind. 'Cause in case you haven't heard,
For iPhone and Android, thanks to Tyler Ford.
you can have it all, and no mountain is too
My name's Ronnie, and I lost my arms in June of 2004.
A lineman for the local electric company, Ronnie spent 45 days in the hospital after a power line accident took both his arms. With a lot of effort and dedication, he learned to use prosthetic limbs. 18 months later, with the support of his employer, Ronnie went back to work.
It felt good for me to be able to go back and be with the guys that I work with.
As his employer's workers' comp provider, Texas Mutual Insurance Company is proud we could help Ronnie get back to his job. But what means even more is that we could help him get back to his life.
I like fishing. I can take the boat out by myself. I do drive my truck. I do hunt and fish. Even after 11 years, Texas Mutual still calls and checks on me and seeing if I need anything. Without Texas Mutual, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Texas Mutual is committed to working with employers to help get injured employees back on the job and back to their lives. To learn more about our return to work programs, go to WorkSafeTexas.com.
A virtuosa soloist headlines a magnificent evening of musical fireworks with the East Texas Symphony Orchestra.
Mendelssohn was one of these guys. He was a classicist.
ETSO music director Richard Lee.
He wrote brilliant symphonies, brilliant concertos, and he wrote one of the most beloved violin concertos of the repertoire.
Violinist Alyssa Lee joins the ETSO for Mendelssohn's groundbreaking violin concerto.
She's my sister. I still remember the time when she surpassed me as a musician. We started the violin at about the same time. She was 4, I was maybe 9. It was only a couple of years before she was better than me.
Join conductor Richard Lee, violinist Alyssa Lee, and the East Texas Symphony Orchestra, Saturday, March 19th, 7:30 in the evening at the UT Tyler Cowan Center. Tickets are available for as little as $10. Visit etso.org, etso.org, the East Texas Symphony Orchestra.
Home automation, you can do anything.
That's Dennis Mortis, owner of Stereo and Video Center of Tyler.
The cool thing is what we can do as custom integrators. We can set up things that will control your thermostats, your lighting, your surveillance.
Control your home security, your heating and cooling, and your lighting from the palm of your hand wherever you are. Stereo and Video Center of Tyler can make it happen.
We can really get creative for you. We can set a motion detector in your garage that when you pull in, it's going to turn on your kitchen lights. It's going to turn your air conditioning on to 72 degrees, and you're going to have the house exactly like you want it. Somebody could ring your doorbell. You can look at it on your phone, and you can either let that person in or not let that person in.
Stereo and Video Center of Tyler for home entertainment, car and truck audio, window tinting, and outdoor living. On South Broadway across from Lowe's. Online at stereovideocenter.com. Stereo and Video Center.
Hello, I'm Brian Tuttle with Steamatic of East Texas, and for over 40 years we've been providing professional carpet and upholstery cleaning for homes and businesses. Steamatic's exclusive ceramic tile cleaning process for your home and office takes that old tile and grout and restores it to like new appearance. After being professionally cleaned by Steamatic, we can seal the tile and grout to prevent future staining. For over 40 years, we've helped homes and businesses recover from catastrophic loss due to fire, smoke, and water damage. And our state-licensed Indoor Air Quality Division provides professional cleaning and bioremediation for your home and office. Settle for nothing less. Call Steamatic of East Texas at 903-597-2381. That's 903-597-2381. And visit us on the web at steamatic.net. That is steamatic.net, powered by Group M7. That state license is TACL B014579E. And call us at 903-597-2381. And that's steamatic.net. At Steamatic, we're cleaning the world, one home at a time, starting with yours.
Support the folks that support us. Search the advertiser directory at KTBB.com. KTBB.com. Hosted by Group M7.
We are back with the Art Connection of East Texas. I'm Nita Friend Ward, your host, and with me is Cindy Trimble, our co-host.
Hello.
And we welcome you back. If you haven't been listening to us, I'm Nita Friend Ward from Valorosa Designs and Gallery, and we have started this art show to promote the art and artists of East Texas. Our guest this morning is Doug Carter with the Palette of Roses Art League, and this segment and the next one we're going to be interviewing him and finding out all about his art and the Art League that has a very good, long history here in Tyler. Good morning, Doug.
Well, good morning.
Thank you for being here with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
It was so wonderful to meet you, and I want to tell people, Cindy and I want to tell people about your coming into the gallery, but Cindy was just sharing with us that she has friends in India, and Doug was kidding her, said, here you are, second show, and you're already international.
We do. We have some people following us on Facebook through some of our friends in India and England, and so it's not just East Texas we're reaching, it's the exciting part.
Yes, and you can listen to KTBB.com online if you choose to.
There's also a phone app, TuneIn Radio app is a great way to stream on your phone, so tune in that way also.
Yes, and if you want to talk to us, call in, ask questions, have suggestions, and two, if you ever want to let us know of an artist that you think we need to interview, I want you to call me. Please, the radio station that you can call into is 903-593-5822. You can call in and talk to us this morning if you choose to. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me on my cell, 505-429-4518. And I carry it with me all the time, even when I'm traveling to New Mexico and back. So I'm leaving today at noon.
Off she goes.
Head out.
My.
Well, Doug.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to tell everyone how you found out about us, because it was through this radio show.
Yes, it was. And I have, every Saturday, I get with my peeps, I call them, and there's about 6 or 7 artists that meet at Penny Nichols Sanders' school. And on the way here, I was listening to this, and I said, I think they mentioned about a gallery, and I think they mentioned about art, and I thought, wow, this is really up my alley. And so as I listened, and as I got to meet both of you through the air, and I said, well, I think they said it was downtown at Bergfield somewhere. Of course, I was driving, and, you don't want to text when you drive, and you don't want to write things down when you drive, so I got most of the information, and I thought, well, Monday or Tuesday, I'll stop by and kind of see what's going on, and
it was such a surprise.
Yes, and I walked in, and both these ladies were there, so it was awesome. And it was like a kindred spirit, and we started sharing, and it was just one of those things.
Yes,
I just love that moment. It's like, are you the 2 ladies from the radio show?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, yes, we are.
And we were just amazed that you walked in, and it was such a blessing to meet you and to know that what we're doing is working. Mm-hmm. It really is working.
Yes, it is.
This is a testimony to that.
All right.
Doug, you have been past president, like we talked about, of the Palette of Roses. Let's go back to the history of it. You say that it's been in existence for 64 years.
Right. It's when I first moved to Tyler in like 84, 85, it was going on, and some of the artists that I was working with and kind of learning how to paint and exploring my creativity were involved with the Palette of Roses Art League, and we actually met at the old Mayfair building, which is on the other side of Harvey Hall, and that's got a long history. I think even Elvis at one time performed there, so it was just one of those things. But the problem for us was it was an air-conditioned, and but it was a long venue, and it was a wonderful place to work at. And so I had a few goals as president and a few things that I worked on, and now we're meeting at the atrium, which is up behind Home Depot, and it's a retirement facility, and they've given us our conference room to have our meetings once a month. So we meet every month, and it's been quite an experience working with them and working with the Art League, and I call it a blessing by far.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And when you say that it started back that many years ago, do you remember any of the people that actually began it? Is there much talk about that in your history?
We have
Do you have names?
Well, I don't have names. We have a storage unit that actually has some of the archives in it, and some of the old folders and some of the old newsletters, and a little bit before my time, obviously, but
sure.
It has a rich heritage, and it is something that is that I've always wanted to promote, and has always enriched me. And artists get inspired by many things, and one of the big inspirations that motivate artists is to see other art. And so you'll come to this show that we have every year during the Rose Festival, and there's 200 to 300 paintings, and there's all categories. We don't just have professional, we have amateur and every advanced, and so you get to see different levels of growth in all of those areas, and it's inspiring. It's very inspiring. So,
and the synergy that's built, even when you're talking about going over there and painting with your group every week.
Right, my peeps.
Your peeps, I think that's neat. With Easter coming up, that's appropriate.
That's right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Do you remember peeps? Do you remember those little yellow things?
My sister ate my yellow ones, 'cause yellow was her color. Mine were the pink ones.
She stole your yellow peeps.
Yeah, but I love her.
I got you.
But I was in interesting too. Just you were speaking of the evolution of the art. A couple years back, I was at the Palace of Knossos in Greece, and you see the evolution of art. In the beginning, they're kind of the hunter-gatherers, so you see a lot of straight lines, like you would be hatching something. As they had more food and more time, that creativity and the lines softened and curved. So there is that natural evolution of the art.
Right, right.
And they use those natural forms, the leaf and the tree and the flower. They paid attention to nature, and they were trying to repeat it,
Right.
because that's what their eyes were taking in. And the art history is something that I really, really would like to delve into
Very
more.
fascinating, yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I'm looking for my art history books. They're packed away somewhere. I'm going to find those things because I want to go back. I want to go back to
We'll
them.
get my dad here. He's a walking encyclopedia.
Oh.
I want to interview your father. Cindy's
ready.
father's a glass artist.
He's a stained glass artist.
Stained
Right up in the
glass
studio.
artist,
Lots
yes.
of color and metaphors
Yes.
and abstract thoughts.
Yeah.
Love you, Daddy.
You talk about painting in oil, that it is your favorite way to paint.
Yes, it is. I have just I enjoy the texture. I enjoy the feel. I enjoy the blendability of it. And I've done other mediums, but that's the one that's kind of stuck with me. It was the one that my mom first started with, and have a little bit of a talent, artistic influence from her, and it just worked
Genetic.
for me. And the thing is, it's not a cheap thing to do, and so I've invested many years into it, and I think I've come to a level of comfort with it right now. So.
Kind of give the audience an idea of what it costs for a little tube of oil, so
Oh
that
my
they will
gosh.
understand.
Well, there's so many different grades of things too, and so you can go with the artist grade, which doesn't have a strong pigment in it, and it's not very doesn't transfer too well to a canvas. But some of the artist grade paints can get up to $30-40 a 2-ounce tube. And
Yes.
so if it's almost as expensive as gold if you do it by the
ounce.
Yeah, so it's it does
And you have to take care of it, because
Yes.
if you don't use all of that tube within a certain amount of time,
right.
it becomes unusable.
Right, and of course, paint, once it's taken out of its tube, it starts drying up. So
Sure.
it's already. So there's, people say, what does this painting cost you? Well, time, talent, and years, but it's also a monetary investment.
Yes, it is,
Yes.
because of the paint and the gesso and all
Oh,
of and the
yes.
canvas. And if you stretch and build your own canvases, they can be pretty expensive, or if you have them built,
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than just the marketing kind.
Yep.
Tell us about your technique. How have you developed your technique over the years?
Boy, that's a mouthful right there, and I don't know if we have all the time left to go into that. But my technique is evolved through the years, and I think it has to do with seeing other artists and how they get to an end result. And but I do an underglazing, and then I do a drawing, and then I start with my values and textures and build on top of that. And I am alla prima, which means I kind of mix the color to the end result and take it from my palette and put it on my canvas, which is something that I've developed throughout the years, and I feel most comfortable with that. And it is a unique type of art. Some people will put a layer on, let it dry, do another layer, let it dry, and I've not really, maybe it's patience, but it's just not been my style of painting, and I've done quite well. It's a little bit impressionistic, but yet mood, color, depth, feel is kind of what I go for, my vision. So
I like your mood color today of your bright turquoise.
yes.
When we come back, and we're going to take a break for a moment, but when we come back, I would like for you to talk about, because one of the things I want to do is educate people about art. I want you to talk about, from the time that you go in and you set up, what's your approach? What do you have to do to prepare a canvas? All of those steps, and just in a fast manner, because we are
Absolutely,
limited in
yes.
time. But I think that would be very interesting to people. Another thing, if any of you out there in the audience know about those who began, if it was your grandmother or someone that was very involved in the beginning of the Palette of Roses, please call in at 593-5822 and let us know that, because that's something I think it would be
Yes.
interesting to put out over the radio. We're going to take a break.
Hey, Tyler, Longview, it's your friend Sean Hannity here. Join me weekday afternoons 2 to 5, right after Rush, on your only local news radio, 97.5 KTBB FM.
You know, if your mattress is more than about 8 years old, you're going to be needing a new one pretty soon. Hi, Paul Gleiser here. Where you get it matters. Here's what I believe. The closer something comes to having a comma in the price, the closer to home you should buy it. For the simple reason that a locally owned business is more accountable. You know that if you've ever called a 1-800 customer service number and talked to somebody you couldn't understand. That's why if you need a new bed, I recommend the Serta Sleep Gallery at Don's TV and Appliance. The Serta Sleep Gallery at Don's is a showroom full of Serta iComfort sleep system models, Serta's most advanced ever. They're engineered for better support, and they dissipate heat so that you sleep at a more comfortable temperature. But here's the clincher. Unlike the chain mattress stores, Don's TV is locally owned. Their success can only come from taking better care of you. Don's TV and Appliance, your Get More store in Tyler on Broadway south of Grande Boulevard and online at donstv.com. Prior to 2004, the most popular red wine in the United States was Merlot. Hi, this is Paul Gleiser. Then a very good movie starring Paul Giamatti came out called Sideways. Giamatti was a wine snob, and at one point in the movie, he goes on a rant about not drinking Merlot, as if Merlot is somehow all too pedestrian for a true wine connoisseur. Sales of Merlot plummeted, which is too bad because Merlot was the top-selling varietal for a reason. Something that you can rediscover right now at the Kiepersol Winery when you ask to try the just-released 2011 Kiepersol Merlot. Again, the near-perfect conditions on the Kiepersol Estates property combined with expert winemaking to create a very, very drinkable red wine. I was given a sneak peek just before release, and I would not steer you wrong. Of course, try it before you buy it. Tell them I sent you, and the nominal $1 tasting fee is on me. Go south on Broadway to FM 344, left under the bridge a mile and a half to the Kiepersol entrance gate on your left, and then follow the signs. Learn more at keepersol.com.
Hi, this is Joe at Stonebridge Heating and Air. We get so many people asking us about the Douglas mini splits. For the room additions, commercial conference rooms that are always too warm when you add 20 people. We rep Carrier, Lennox, Toshiba, Fujitsu, and Mitsubishi. As a diamond dealer for Mitsubishi, that increases your warranty to 12 years because of the extra training our company has gone through. Ducted mini splits are also very popular because we can run extra ducts to those restrooms or closets in that bonus room or home theater. Stonebridge Heating and Air, license 22357C, 565-5414.
Lost your keys? Locked out of your car, home, or business? It's frustrating and can be dangerous at the wrong time of day or night. Call Locksmith Express. Call 7 days a week. Residential, business, auto, theft, lost keys, rekey. 903-312-0006. Response time is 30 minutes in most cases. 903-312-0006. Key replacement, lockouts, remote replacements on most cars, home and business rekeys, and keys made from most VIN numbers and high security auto keys. Locksmith Express. And if you're buying or building a home, call Locksmith Express to rekey and make sure you know who has the keys to your new home. 903-312-0006. Get more information at locksmithexpress.biz. That's locksmithexpress.biz. 903-312-0006. 903-312-0006. License number B12284. Locksmith Express.
Pratt Homes in Tyler had a record sales year in 2015, and they want to thank all of their customers who made it possible for this past year. Pratt Homes is gearing up for a great year this year, too. If you're looking for a sales position or interested in Pratt Homes' manager and training program, if you are a highly motivated person with a record of success and want to work with a premier modular home builder in a 4-state area, apply today at Pratt Homes of Tyler. That's Pratt Homes of Tyler. Apply today.
Take us with you on your smartphone or iPad. Search KTBB in the App Store. Sponsored by Tyler Ford.
No.
We're back. This is Nita Fran Ward with Art Connection of East Texas, ACET, and we are an asset for the artist. We have Cindy Trimble, who is my co-host, and our guest this morning is Doug Carter. Doug is a local artist, and he is also past president of Palette of Roses Art League, and we're talking about art and artists of East Texas. Doug, we're back to you. We're very glad to have you with us. And each time Cindy and I give the interviewee ahead of time a list of questions that we want to ask, because it helps us to get to know them before the interview, so that we have interesting things to discuss, so that our audience can get to know our art and our interviewee, our artist and the interviewee. You said that about the time that you moved to East Texas, your wife gave you a gift. What did she give you for your birthday?
Yes, she's always known that I've had a artistic past growing up, and I never really pursued it as much. And so one year on my birthday, she said, I have signed you up with a local artist to start taking some art lessons. And, it was probably one of those gifts that it was so memorable and so changing of my life, because once I got involved with it and started painting again, I just fell in love with it all over again. And it was quite a blessing that my wife was intuitive enough to see that. And it was a very special gift to me. And
that was very unselfish, because
yes,
what she was doing is giving you something else in your life. And it takes time. I've always said to artists, in order for them, to be successful, they have to be almost selfish with their time. Set aside time to paint.
Right.
And so she gave you that. That was very thoughtful.
Yes, it was.
Very loving.
Yes, it was.
And you've been doing it ever since.
Right, and it's been good therapy for me. It's an
Art
outlet.
is therapeutic.
Yes, it is, and it's been quite a blessing. So,
what artist over your lifetime has influenced you the most?
Yeah, I saw that question and I looked at it and I thought, well, I wonder how many sheets of paper I have, because like I said, looking at other art is very inspirational, and there are so many artists, contemporary and impressionistic. I'm very much into art, color, and so and then there's this tonalist, and there's just so many different artists. But I want to say Chong Wong is a artist that I took some workshops from, and where I got a lot of my formal training from, because I didn't go to art school per se, but he introduced a form in which you start from black and white type a study, and then you build the paint on top of that. And he was the one that was most instrumental, not only in teaching me a formal way of painting, but also a way of marketing my paint, which if you Google Doug Carter online, or Doug Carter art, you'll see a lot of my stuff come up on the internet. But he's an internationally known artist, and he is very much an influence in my career.
Let's talk for a moment about, from the time that you are inspired to paint a certain thing, what is your process from the time you walk into your studio? Now, you told me that you go out and you take photographs. If you're not painting, you're preparing to paint, and one of those ways is photographing things that you want to later paint. Then you go into your studio. What is your process?
Well, I am in sales, so I'm on the road constantly, and so what an artist does is something captures his eye, a vision or an impression, and so we capture it, and we try to capture it on film, but film doesn't do it justice, but it's something that's in us, and so we do our best to capture it at the moment, and then we bring it back and develop it from there. But we all are artists, and we're just trying to find different ways of sharing our different visions and expressions, and so that's what we do as artists. We have a base vision, but then we create this impression that we want to share with other people. So
you prepare your canvas?
Yeah, I tone my canvas.
Do you stretch your own?
No, I don't.
You just buy?
No, sometimes I cut off old paintings and put new canvases on them, because that one didn't quite work out. But
try again.
I try not to do that, because it's I'm not very good at it. But yeah, but a white canvas is so inspiring, because you don't want it to stay white, because that's very boring. So, as many blank canvases as you have, hopefully that encourages you to get painting. But right away, I tone most of my canvases. I'll put a kind of a warm tone to it, and start from there. I do a I draw with my paintbrush, and so I'll draw out the figure, and since I do that with turp and do that very thinly, it takes a minute to dry, and then after it dries, then as it's drying, I'm mixing the colors that I want to start putting on top of that and build from there. So it's a process, and like I said, it's something that I've learned throughout the years that works best for me.
And turpentine is what you use to extend your paint.
Right, and you use
blend
that because it
better.
dries quickly, and it makes something that's oily and thick very pliable, very smooth, and very pliable, and will dry fast. And of course, it's still wet that day, but it dries faster than if it was just pure oil. So
Sure.
I have a question. You mentioned that you like a warm undertone to your canvas.
Right.
Any reason for that versus a cool undertone?
Well, it's I guess it's just the if you're going to go cool, it's usually at night or a very bright subject to begin with. So I always try to do whatever the opposite is. So if you start warm, you can put the cools and the darks on top of that. So I don't know. It's just something that has stuck with me, and it has. I always try to let some of that bleed through. Most of my work, you'll see the different stages because I do that intentionally. I don't like. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like, but I prefer art that shows the brush strokes and the movement of the brushing and stuff like that, because to me it shows a little bit of the character of the artist itself. If it looks like a photograph, that's fine, but that's if that's what you're trying to do. But I like art to look like an artist has touched it, and that's just me.
Well, Brian Stone said that last week. He's like, I want to see that technique. And that makes a difference.
Right.
I think it's time for us to take a break.
Well, thank you for listening.
Your only local news radio is now on FM. Set a button for 97.5 KTBB FM.
As a family-owned business, the Bergfeld Insurance Agency values treasured heirlooms. The agency has been passed down through generations, so they understand the importance of ensuring family history. Trust the Bergfeld Agency to insure your collectible art and precious jewels. Homeowner policies may not cover your collection, so call today for a free quote. They're an independent agency offering customized policies from multiple carriers for home, auto, RV, and business. BergfeldAgency.com.
There are so many patients that their deductibles are very, very high,
Licensed physician assistant Renee McCarty.
and they have trouble going to their regular doctor and paying out of pocket until their deductible is met that year. And so they delay their appointments, they stretch their medication, they put off getting lab work or appropriate studies because they simply can't afford it.
Healthcare is changing. Lifetime Health Center helps you afford the care you need.
But here at Lifetime Health Center, we try to keep the prices very manageable for people so they can pay out of pocket for it. Then if they need to, they can apply for reimbursement with their insurance company, have it applied to their deductible, and move forward.
You can get same-day treatment at Lifetime Health Center.
I want my patients to be able to call today with a sore throat, a cough, a sprained ankle, and get in and be seen today.
Primary health care that's convenient, affordable, and confidential. Lifetime Health Center on the West Loop between Kinsey Drive and Old Jacksonville Highway. Online at lifetimehealthcenter.com. Lifetime Health Center.
The dentist is the learned individual. They're the ones that have to make the decision that's best for the patient and not ever what's best for them.
That's Dr. Dennis Stansberry of Tyler.
It's always about the patient. Members of the Texas Dental Association and the American Dental Association require you to abide by a code of ethics, and it's a very strict code of ethics. And it's dedicated to the advancement of dentistry and for the protection of the public.
The best dentist is the one who puts concern for you ahead of every other consideration.
It's all about trust. And when you treat a patient, I want what's best for them. I only want what's best for them. Not what's in my best interest, but what's always in their best interest.
The latest technology, years of experience, and a particular focus on patients as individuals. Dr. Dennis Stansberry, pursuing excellence and comfort in dentistry. In Tyler on Brookside Drive, just north of the Loop. Online at stansberrydental.com. Dennis Stansberry.
Hi, Bill Coates. I wear two hats here at KTBB at ESPN Radio. One of those hats is talk show host. The other is salesperson. It's while wearing that second hat that I want to talk to you about your printing. As much as the internet has changed how we sell, it's nevertheless true that how we look and function in print has a material impact on how well we succeed. That's why the management here counts on Hudson Printing and Graphics for our sales collateral material. Hudson Printing is indispensable. We know that in a competitive environment, the impression that we create in print can make the critical difference. Hudson Printing helps us win that battle for a good first impression. Their graphic design staff, together with the latest digital color printing technology, create sales material that looks great and delivers our story, all at a price that makes sense in a cost-conscious business environment. To be your best, you need to look your best. Hudson Printing and Graphics can help. You'll find them online at hudsonprint.com. Hudson Printing and Graphics.
We're right there on your clock radio first thing in the morning and in your dashboard as you dash around all day. We're KTBB. Download our app and listen on your smartphone or iPad. Thanks to Tyler Ford, it's free for iPhone and Android. Just search KTBB in the App Store. KTBB is your only local news radio, and we're working for you even when you're not near a radio. Your only local news radio. 97.5 FM, KTBB, and KTBB.com. News Talk 97.5 FM, KTBB, with you everywhere you go at KTBB.com. KTBB.com, hosted by Group M7.
Art Connection of East Texas. I'm Nita Friend Ward, co-host Cindy Trimble, and our guest today, Doug. Hi, Doug. Thank you for being here. Tell us about what you have going on, because you said that there are two events that you really want to let the audience know about.
Yes, of course, the event with the Palette of Roses Art League that comes up every year during the Rose Festival. It is at the Rose Festival Complex, and it is October 12th through the 15th, and it's free admission. And it is like I said, it'll be our 65th year of having this show. It's members of the Palette of Roses Art League who have a judge come in, and it's a judged competition for our league, and it is at least 200 paintings, and it is in the Rose Festival Complex, and it is absolutely enjoyable and awesome, and we're so honored to be part of the Rose Festival of East Texas.
Everything's coming up roses.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes,
And you have another event, Penny Nichols?
Yes, I do. And Penny Nichols Sanders, who's a dear friend of mine, who's been a teacher in the East Texas area for a very, very long time, she is having her show at the Presbyterian Church on Rusk Street at the end of this month, March 31st through April 2nd. And so these are past and present students of hers, and they have a show, and there's quite a few paintings that are involved there. So there's a lot going on in the East Texas area, and there's a lot of art in the East Texas area, and this is a great venue to get that out to the people.
Thank you, Doug. Talk about April the 2nd and April the 7th.
Okay, April the 2nd, Erin Kinsey, who is debuting in London as we speak with Miranda Lambert and all-star lineup, she will be at the Bergfeld Center on April the 7th. So April 2nd, we will have her here on the radio show, so do tune into that. The Bergfeld Merchants Association is putting on the annual Spring Fling. In addition to Erin Kinsey, we will be having an art walk, and we are very excited that Doug has graciously donated a piece of art that will be featured at the Valarosa Design Center. You can come in and see the painting and register. At the Bergfeld Center, we're going to be having a lot of prizes for you completing our art walk and taking part, and one of your pieces is going to be part of it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so very welcome.
Well, in that show, I have to give a really wonderful thank you to Karen Musgraves. She really inspired the whole blossoming of this wonderful spring fling that we've got going on. Karen Musgraves has a wonderful collection of art, Texas art, very colorful. We are featuring it at Larry Lott Interiors. You can come now and see the collection. We'll have an expanded collection. She's bringing more art in next week, and we're very excited to have her as a part of the Spring Fling at the Bergfeld Association.
Yes, and Brian Stone will be at Valarosa Designs and Gallery. Doug has graciously donated the painting, and he's going to be there with us too to show his art. Both of those gentlemen will be talking art that night. Different businesses are going to have other artists, and we're going to get a list of those. Next week we'll have a list of those, and we have a surprise guest next week, and I'm not going to tell about it yet.
Anticipation. Make them wait. But do tune in. We will be keeping updates on our Facebook page, Art Connection East Texas. And if you have any events or even any art you want to post, we'd love to share it.
Yes. And Cindy, talk a minute about what's going on Facebook. You've got
my phone's been blowing up, so a lot of private messages from not just East Texas, but all around. So thank you all for listening and tuning in. It's exciting to be a part of the East Texas community and the greater large.
And we have had many people come in. I had a lady come in yesterday that found out about the radio show, and she just came in to tell me that she had 2 or 3 artists that she wanted me to contact that might want to show their work. So I want to encourage the artists to get involved in this, because this is going to be a great venue for them to have a voice. And we are going to be interviewing different artists all the time.
Thank you for all of your help, Anita Fran, in putting all this together.
Yes. See you next week.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.